Hello, I'm Christine from the Anchored Approach, and today we're looking at class 3, which is the third and final class of our three-part series looking at how to start homeschooling. This is the class on confidence and calm through understanding how you stop doubting yourself and you start trusting the process. A quick disclaimer here is that this is not medical advice. It is not a psychological diagnosis. It is not a treatment. If you have specific concerns, it is best that you seek a trained professional. So welcome back. What class 1 was all about was we discovered why your child resists certain learning processes and approaches, and it's because there's just a misalignment. It doesn't match the way that they intake information. In class 2, we built daily flow that works with their brain, and today we're doing removing doubt that's stealing your peace. Okay, how to recognize and remove guilt and doubt, recognizing real problems, practical tools for staying anchored, and your next steps. So perhaps the question keeping you up at night is, how will I know if I'm teaching them everything they need to know in order to succeed in life? So this is where the doubt is. How do I know that I'm doing this right? How do I know that I'm teaching them everything? So you ask yourself this over and over again, and it comes in different phrases. It's paraphrased in different ways. So let's talk about that question. So your child starts to resist. It's this pattern that you're stuck in. After the resistance, you push harder because you're wanting them to succeed in life. Now, because you're pushing harder, they shut down, and now you feel like you're failing because they've shut down, and now you're not able to reach them, and around you go in this cycle of doubt, and it's just this constant battle. What changes everything here is that when you understand a brain profile, it doesn't just explain your child specifically, it removes the doubt. So looking at those profiles that we had from class 1, Logan, he shuts down and you think he's being defiant. Meantime, now you know because you can see his brain profile. He's there at 96 in the R2, which means he's the connector. His right brain dominance needs connection. And I've been making him work alone. Now you know this information. It's not failure, it's information. So Delilah was another student that we had. She gets distracted. That's what the parent sees. She can't focus on anything. But now, as the parent having done the profile, you can see her right brain dominance needs variety. And she's been doing the same thing for 30 minutes. That's too long for her specifically. She's not broken. The approach is 30 minutes of an approach to sitting down and focusing is too long for this child. She needs to move on slightly quicker. So Dezel was another younger child that we did, and he won't sit still. What is wrong with him? The parents asking. Nothing wrong. Everything makes sense. Having done the profile, he's right brain dominant. His brain processes through movement. Don't make them sit still for too long. Okay, so the opposite of this is when left brain kids get misunderstood. Okay, left brains need things done correctly. For them, it needs to be good enough. It feels wrong to them. It needs to be done correct, not just good enough, absolutely correct. This is the perfectionist side. A left brain needs structure and routine, so sudden changes will make them feel chaotic and unsafe, and therefore they won't learn. Left brains analyze and problem solve constantly. And that's not anxiety. That is their strength. Nothing is wrong here with these left brain. Everything makes sense. You have to use those strengths to your advantage as the parent. Okay, a comparison trap that creeps in is if you see other homeschool moms posting picture perfect workbook pages or classrooms that look home classrooms that look like a school classroom, beautiful, color coded, etc. Kids are sitting quietly for hours. And sometimes, on the other hand, parents talk about arts and crafts they've been doing, dress up games they've been acting out. This is a comparison trap. Don't think you're doing it wrong. It needs to be specific for your child. So if some families are posting and showing and describing, you know what, we have mess, we have chaos, it works fine for us. Yes, that may work fine for the right brain. And if your children or you yourself are a left brain, that is not going to work for you. It is a different brain. There are different needs. It is not better or worse. It is just different. There are approaches and systems to help each side. So stop this measuring incorrectly. If you're measuring your right brain child or yourself against left brain standards, it's like judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Okay, so of course you're going to feel like you're failing. It's impossible. How to recognize progress in your child specifically? So are they asking deeper questions than before? Are they making connections across topics? Are they teaching back to you what they have learned? That is the best lesson. Do they have self-initiating in areas of interest? Are they saying to you by their questions, this is an area or a topic that I would like to explore? Problem solving independently, huge one, teaches them independence and builds their self-esteem. So we're not looking for completed worksheets. We're not looking for perfect behavior. We are not looking for sitting still. Progress is thinking, not compliance. Okay, so what makes you question if you are doing this right? Okay, so let me guess. Your day doesn't look like theirs, other people. Your child won't do traditional work, traditional as in what you perceive learning should look like because your reference is a school system. And you may doubt because you're questioning, okay, well, I actually don't have any teaching credentials. The real answer here is you're doing it right when it matches your child's brain. Period, full stop. If it matches their brain, it is right. They will continue to learn. They will continue to ask questions. Always. You will have less resistance. You will have less resistance. I'm not saying you'll have no resistance. Even veteran homeschoolers have resistance. You will have less resistance on a regular day-to-day basis. How to know if you're doing it right for your child? So when doubt will start to creep in, you need to ask yourself, okay, is my child curious? Are they actually learning something that interests them? Whatever it is that interests them, are they learning something about it? Am I working with their brain or fighting it? And if you're answering yes to all three, you're doing it right. And this is your anchor. You keep going. So what to do on bad days? So when it feels like everything's falling apart, just stop your lesson. Don't push through. Just stop lessons, stop your action plan, stop your whatever it is you've hoped to get through for the day. Connect. 5 minutes of presence, no agenda. Even left brain kids need a connection. Okay. Then ask, what does their brain need right now? What does your brain need right now? So sometimes you need to take 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is, to get your brain on the level. And then you're able to look at their brain and say, what do they need right now? Do they need movement? Do they need connection? Do they need a break? And we just move with that. Tomorrow's the next day. Tomorrow is you do what you didn't do yesterday. And sometimes that's just how it is. And yes, there is a way to catch up. Things fall into place. They really do. So when things wobble, because they will, bad days happen to everyone. Your child will resist sometimes. The difference is you'll know why there's a wobble and you know how to adjust. There's no need to panic. You go back to the profile, you go back to your why, you go back and reassess. 2 minutes because it's all there. Understanding the brain profile becomes your anchor. When you're doubting, when you're questioning, when there's resistance, when there's wobbles, you come back to this is how their brain works. Okay, it's not an excuse. It is the compass that shows you where you're supposed to go and how you're supposed to get there. Okay, connection and structure. So if you've been chasing perfect days, perfect behavior, perfect focus, what you need to remember is that the right brain needs connection and the left brain needs structure. Neither of them need perfection, not even you as the parent need perfection. What you cannot see just yet is that 6 months from now, your child engages willingly. You trust your decisions. Sorry. The confusion is gone and homeschool feels like freedom, not a prison. And this is completely possible. There are two paths here. You keep trying different curricula, hoping the next one will work. You could keep doubting yourself, keep feeling like you're failing, or path two, You get to understand the brain and you build around it, and you will watch and see everything shift and falls into place. Sorry. Here is what you need. The tools that I have given you today do work. But to really get there, you need the full picture for you, specifically for your family. Your child's profile, not a general information. Custom strategies that will match their unique brain and guidance for your challenges that you're having in your family. That's what the profile assessment gives you. What changes here is that the constant doubt and questioning stops. The comparison trap loses its grip completely. Confusion lifts and uncertainty is removed. It is removed. You trust because you now understand. So sometimes the parent needs the profile too, because your brain might work completely different to your parents or exactly the same as theirs. So if there's opposites, there's constant clash. But if it's the same, then you're sharing the same blind spots. So now you can see where you align and where you clash. You can say, oh, I need structure. They need flexibility. That's why we clash. So it's not personal, it's neurological. So to get all in, you can go for both profiles. You have a child profile, you have a teacher trainer profile, and you can see where there's opposites and there's a clash, where there's the same profile, there's blind spots, and you can see where you align and where you clash, and you build a system that honors both sides. So you don't say you're a left brain profile and you can't understand your children needing chaos and movement to learn, then you don't need to now become more right brain. You leverage the system so that you do what you need to do, they get to do what they need to do, and you're working from your strengths, and you're helping them with their strengths without trying to force them to do what is against their strengths and what makes them shut down. Your final truth here is that you're not failing. Your child is not broken. You just need to see the map, and the brain profile is the map. This is a long-term solution here. This is not just let me get help for today. This helps you through your entire homeschool journey and sets your children up for, their working career. You have now completed all 3 classes. Thank you very much for sticking with me this far. You now understand why your child resists, how to build daily flow in your homeschool, how to stay confident and calm in your decisions and your choices, especially when it comes to choosing a curriculum, what to look for, what to avoid. The next step is in your hands. I'm Christine Koenig from The Anchored Approach, and you can reach me by email on theanchoredapproach@gmail.com. You can reach me there with any questions you have or to make a booking for your profile.